Good morning. I am Dr. Jayaprada, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, SLIMS. So today we are going to see about the class about Salmonella. So what is Salmonella? So we are going to see this organism. This is a bacterial organism. This organism taxonomy classification, culture and biochemical properties, pathogenesis and clinical features, laboratory diagnosis and treatment and prophylaxis. These are all the learning objectives we are going to see now in the today's session. Okay. Salmonella, genus Salmonella. If you take any organism, it has the name, genus, then species name. So always the genus should comes in the first, followed by the species. So this genus Salmonella belongs to the family Enterobacteriaceae. It is the important pathogen causing infection in humans. What are the infections this will cause? Enteric fever, food poisoning, potential agent of bioterrorism. Comes to the taxonomy, genus Salmonella belongs to the tribe Salmonellae. It has tribe 1, Enterobacteriaceae group has the tribe 1, tribe 2, tribe 3, tribe 4, tribe 5, everything has a name. So like that, this Salmonella belongs to the tribe Salmonellae. So earlier days, the Salmonella were classified on the basis of host specificity, serotyping of lipopolysaccharide antigen and Forge typing. So here the classification name is Kaufman-White classification. In this classification, there are more than 2,500 species are included. So current taxonomic system based on genotypic methods recognizes two species in genus Salmonella. One is Salmonella enterica, another one is Salmonella bombori. This Salmonella enterica has 6 subspecies. Salmonella typhi belongs to subspecies enterica. So Salmonella enterica has a 6 subspecies. In that, Salmonella typhi belongs to the subspecies enterica. So Salmonella enterica, other 6 subspecies are enterica, salame, arizonae, diarizonae, hortenae, and indica. So this typhi, Salmonella typhi, is a serotype in subspecies enterica. So you should interpret like this: Salmonella enterica, subspecies enterica, serotype typhi. I will repeat again. This Salmonella enterica, subspecies enterica, serotype typhi. You have to write like this organism. So comes to the classification, already I told this comes under Enterobacteria family. So it is a gram-negative rod-shaped bacteria, facultative anaerobes. This organism will ferment glucose and also it is a flagellated. Flagellated means that is motile bacteria. Flagella is to help in the movement. Motile, what is motile, non-motile? Motile is movement of the bacteria. Non-motile, the bacteria won't move one place to another place. So all the species of Salmonella, only 2 species, that is Salmonella gallinarum and Salmonella pullorum. This is non-motile species. Comes to the culture characteristics. It is aerobic and facultative anaerobe. It is a non-fastidious organism. And agar plate, blood agar, the colonies are 2 to 3 mm, convex, grape leaf-like colonies are present. Non-hemolytic colonies, mostly blood agar used to see hemolytic and non-hemolytic colonies. McConkie, non-lactose fermenting colonies. Non-lactose fermenting are lactose fermenting, you can see the pink color colonies. Non-lactose fermenting, colorless colonies are seen. Here, if you take the Salmonella, to incubate, to cultivate the organism, you have to use a special media, that is selective media. One is a deoxycholate citrate agar and xylose lysine deoxycholate media or selective medium. In DCA, that is a deoxycholate citrate agar, you can see the non-lactose fermenting colonies or non-lactose fermenting colonies with the black center. XLD, xylose, lysine, and deoxycholate media, you can see red colonies with the black center. And Wilson Blair bismuth sulfite medium. This you can see the jet black colonies, that is jet black colonies are you can see. See, here you can see the Wilson Blair, the black colonies are seen here, and also biochemical reactions. Non-lactose fermenter does not produce indole, the genus character. It does not produce indole. See, there is a reaction called IMBIC. For all Enterobacteriaceae family and gram-negative bacilli, you will do the biochemical reaction, major reactions, IMBIC. What is IMBIC? I for indole, M for methyl red, B for Vox-Prosker, C for citrate. Along with this IMBIC, have to do urease and triple sugar ion. So here, if you take it out the Salmonella typhi, other two species are also there. Paratyphi A, Paratyphi B, and Salmonella typhimurium is there. Paratyphi C also. So indole negative, methyl red positive, Vox-Prosker negative, citrate not utilized, you have to tell. Urease not hydrolyzed. It is an anaerogenic, and DSI sorry, alkali by acid with a speck of H2S. Salmonella paratyphi A, that is indole negative, methyl red positive, Vox-Prosker negative, citrate not utilized, urease not hydrolyzed. But it is aerogenic, does not utilize the citrate, Siemens citrate. Triple sugar ion K by A, that is alkali by acid. Here decarboxylase enzyme, lysine is not decarboxylated. Salmonella paratyphi A and paratyphi B, indole negative, methyl red positive, Vox-Prosker negative, citrate utilized here. Both typhi and paratyphi A, citrate not utilized, but paratyphi B, citrate is utilized. It is a aerogenic. So comes to the triple sugar ion, alkali by acid with abundant H2S. In Salmonella typhi, you can see the speck of H2S, mustache appearance you can see. But in a paratyphi B, the abundant H2S. Antigenic structures. So going to see the antigenic structures. H antigen. In H antigen, you can see flagellar antigen, heat level protein. When agglutinated with the appropriate antibodies, it forms a large, loose, fluffy clumps. So when agglutinated with the appropriate antibodies, no antigen antibody reaction, it forms the large, loose, fluffy clumps, and it is a strongly immunogenic and induces rapid antibody formation. O antigen. It is a somatic lipopolysaccharide antigen, and it is an endotoxic action with appropriate antibodies forms a compact chalky granular clumps. So classification based on O antigen types, Kaufman-White classification, Kaufman-White classification, and VI antigen, analogs to K antigen of Enterobacteriaceae. It is a heat labile produced by Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi C, and Salmonella dublin. So here some strains of Citrobacter also you can demonstrate this VI antigen. but main thing is produced by Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi, and Salmonella dublin. So comes to the antigenic variation. Antigenic properties are O, H and VI antigen. Antigenic variation, H2O variation. This associated with the loss of flagella. When cultured on medium containing phenol in concentrations of 1:800, non-motile mutant of Salmonella typhi, that is 901 O strain, selection may be carried out in Greg's tube culture. This also, from this also non-mutant strain, they will develop the vaccine. Comes to the phase variation. Here, flagellar antigens of Salmonella occur in two phases. One is specific and the second phase is non-specific. So here, V2W variation. What is V2W variation? Strains which having a VI antigen are agglutinable by VI antisera and not corresponding to the O antisera or V forms. Strains having VI antigen are agglutinable by VI antisera and not by corresponding O antisera, that is called V forms. On subculturing VI antigen is suppose lost, these cultures can then be agglutinated by O antisera, that is called W forms. This is a V2W variation. And SR variation, smooth and rough SR variation, associated with altered O antigen, also colony morphology and virulence. Associated with altered O antigen and also colony morphology and virulence are SR variation. It comes to the Kaufman-White classification. So classification with the genus Salmonella is based on O antigen types. So based on O antigen types, they are divided into various groups A, B, C, etc. Within each group, further serotyping is done based on flagellar antigen. Here, this classification with the genus Salmonella based on O antigen types. So based on this O antigen type, it can be divided into various types A, B, C. Within each group, further serotyping is done based on the flagellar antigen. Okay, comes to the pathogenesis and virulence factors. So there is a typhoidal salmonella and non-typhoidal salmonella. Typhoidal salmonella, Salmonella typhi only infects the humans, which causes a typhoid fever. Okay, how the name is came? The Mary Muller typhoid Mary, the first person, the scientist who discovered the vaccine, typhoid fever in that lady. That is the first patient, typhoid Mary. Okay, Salmonella typhimurium. This infection causes in rats where it causes typhoid-like illness, but not exactly the typhoid. Only Salmonella typhi can infect the humans. Infection is acquired by fecal-oral route. Route of transmission is fecal-oral route. It invades and kills the intestinal cells. And this organism has a ability to survive intracellularly in macrophages. So this will inhibit post-phagocytosis metabolic burst. And intracellular organism is spread throughout RES, reticuloendothelial system, with the help of macrophages. Intracellular organism is spread throughout reticuloendothelial system with the help of macrophages. And bacteremia leads to release of interleukin, resulting in clinical features. Bacteremia. What is bacteremia? Blood multiplication. Bacteria multiplication in the blood. Bacteria multiplied in the blood. And carrier stage is due to reseeding of gallbladder and subsequent reinfection. And another one is SPI7. A large pathogenicity island containing genes that encode for VI polysaccharide production. Almost All virulent Salmonella typhi possess a VI antigen. Salmonella typhi and other Salmonella possess a lipopolysaccharide with the lipid A core, and stimulation of cells of the monocyte lineage results in the release of tumor necrosis factor alpha and other cytokines. So this gives rise to the fever, chills, rigors, and common in the clinical presentation. So symptoms, these are the symptoms: fever, chills, rigor. The fever will be the step ladder pattern. On and off, the temperature will rise up. Then rose spots also you can see. The skin rashes also you can see, that is called rose spots. Non-typhoidal salmonella. This by ingested Salmonella enterica cells which reaches the enterocytes and M cells of large and small bowel, and initial contact with the M cells creates ruffles in the host membrane. These are specialized plasma membrane sites of filamentous actin cytoskeleton rearrangement. Ruffles seem to engulf the organism in endocytic vacuole. Then these organisms are transported towards the basolateral membrane, and this will reach finally lamina propria, where a profound inflammatory response is generated. See, this is Salmonella entry. After entering the cells, adherence occur, then penetration goes inside. This is the columnar epithelial cells of the small intestine. Then here also penetrate, and this one lumen through it goes enter. This is the lamina propria. Here multiplication will occur, bacteremia, then secretion of water and electrolytes, diarrhea. So this is lysosomal digestion, and this is systemic dissemination, deep tissue invasion, phagocytosis by neutrophils and macrophages. So this is the picture which tells about the Salmonella. Epidemiology here. Non-typhoid salmonellosis. Non-typhoid salmonellosis. This is a major problem in developed countries. Increased incidence is due to changing farming and animal husbandry practices. The stomach acts as a barrier to Salmonella infection. Achlorhydria. Stomach acts as a barrier to the Salmonella infection. On antacids or H2 antagonist and extremes of age. So gastritis also this will cause. So here another thing is about the non-typhoidal salmonellosis. Highest rate of infection is in less than 5 years, 20 to 30, and more than 70 years. The peak incidence is in summer and fall. So here poultry products, especially infected egg, is the most commonly implicated in the outbreaks. So large outbreaks due to centralized processing and packaging. So hospital outbreaks have been observed. How it will observe? Person to person foodborne. Typhoid fever eliminated from advanced countries, endemic in all parts of the country. Proportion of typhoid to paratyphi A is 1:10. 1:10. Proportion of paratyphi typhi to paratyphi A is 1:10. Common in age group of 5 to 20 years, and source of infection is usually a carrier. That is carrier, through carrier source of infection can also occur. Clinical features, that is non-typhoidal salmonella, which causes gastroenteritis, bacteremia, and metastatic infection. Another thing is gastroenteritis. This begins 24 to 48 hours. This will cause the symptoms nausea, vomiting, concomitant with the diarrhea, and spontaneous resolution in 7 days. Fever in 50% of cases. Gastroenteritis. Bacteremia, which causes acute gastroenteritis, is associated with the transient or persistent bacteremia. Sepsis uncommon except in immunocompromised patients. So this is mostly common in the AIDS patient, that is 70%. Seen in patients with lymphoproliferative disorders. Incubation period 7 to 14 days. Okay, 7 to 14 days. Presentation will be there. I told you already. Mild pyrexia, step-ladder pattern fever, hepatomegaly, rose spots, relative bradycardia, diarrhea in 1/3 people. You can get the diarrhea. And chronic infection in bloodstream can lead to complications. These are all the complications. Myocarditis, encephalopathy, intravascular coagulation. Complication is intestinal perforation, hemorrhage, and circulatory collapse. Laboratory diagnosis, sample collection, typhoid fever, blood, bone marrow, urine, feces, serum. So these are all the sample collections we can collect for the typhoid fever. I told you no BASU. BASU means blood. A, antigen detection. Blood culture. B. Yes, serum. U, urine. Okay. So non-typhoid salmonellosis, they will collect the only stool. Here, they will do the blood culture in the Castaneda biphasic medium. So this culture is the mainstay of the diagnosis in both the typhoidal and also in the non-typhoidal salmonellosis. And blood is cultured in Castaneda biphasic medium. After growth subculture on blood agar and McConkey agar. Stool is enriched and plated on selective medium, enrichment media, selenite F broth, tetrathionoid broth, selective media or DCN XLD, deoxycholate citrate agar, xyloslicin deoxycholate. Then suspect colonies are identified up to genus level biochemically. So comes to this Vidal, that is serology test. Tube agglutination test. Tube agglutination test. O antigen. Here you will see the O antigen, H antigen, AH and BH. O antigen is the dilution of patient serum or made mixed with the antigen incubated overnight in the water bath. Dilutions of patient serum first they will made and they will mix with the antigen and incubate overnight in the water bath. So this is a Vidal test. You can see Felix tube and Trias tube. O antigen will be in the violet color. H antigen will be in the pink color. Significant titers. O antigen is more specific. H antigen early rise in the titer, non-specific due to sharing of flagellar antigens. So stains you have to do. Vidal you have to do. This is the frequency of positive cultures for the Salmonella typhi. See BASU, blood, fever. If fever is there, blood, stool, urine, then agglutinating antibody. Then comes to the bacteriophage typing described by Craig and N. Based on bacteriophage acting on VI antigen, phage types are stable. National Reference Phage Typing Center is in LHMC, Delhi. So comes to the vaccines. TAB vaccine, one is TAB vaccine, typhoral vaccine and typing VI. TAB vaccine is a killed vaccine killed by heating at 50 to 60 degrees Celsius for 0.5% phenol, Salmonella typhi 1000 million, para typhi A and B 750 million each. So here 0.5 ml subcutaneous at an interval of 4 to 6 weeks. Typhoral Salmonella typhi strain TY2A. It lacks enzyme UDP galactose-4 epimerase and self-destructs after 4 to 5 cell cycles. Doses capsules taken at away 1, 2, 3, 5. 1 to 5. That is not 2, 4. 1, 3, 5. Typhi VI. Salmonella typhi strain that is a TY2B, that is a TYA, this is a TY2B, VI antigen, and 25 micrograms per dose, single dose you can take as a this vaccine. So here, what is the treatment? Chloramphenicol, antibiotics you can use. Chloramphenicol, ciprofloxacin, and third generation cephalosporins. Along with that prophylaxis, you have to do drink more water, then you avoid a contaminated food, the fecal contaminated food. Okay, then prophylaxis, hand washing is a must. Hand washing, you have to wash your hands properly, that is must. Thank you. We will end our session now.